Hello and welcome to All Top 5s. I've looked a lot at well-known ghost photos in the past, but there's something quite exciting about images taken by All Top 5s viewers. That's because they're not famous photos and have probably never been released before, so who knows what they could be. Here are some pictures belonging to viewers of All Top 5s. Number 5. Harley West. Harley sent me this picture earlier this year. Harley's family went for a walk through the snow one night in Portsmouth, UK a few years ago. His mother took a picture of him, his brother and his father enjoying the walk all wrapped up. But looking at it afterwards, they noticed this dark figure standing in the road. He's convinced there was no one else there that evening, and it's quite clearly not a tyre mark or a shadow. So what could it be? Is it an image artifact that just happens to look like a shadowy person? Is it an actual person who happened to be standing there? Or is it some ghostly visage of a spirit who, for some reason, appeared just to be included in the picture? It does seem to have a degree of transparency, and also isn't really casting the shadow that I'd expect it to cast with the overhead light there. So what is it? What do you think? Number 4. Jessica Hogg. Jessica from Sweden was on a trip to Edinburgh in Scotland back in 2012. She was visiting Greyfriars Kirkyard with her mother on a ghost tour. When the tour guide mentioned the ghost of a woman who appears in the yard sometimes, Jessica began taking photos to see if she could catch anything. One of those photos was this one, which Jessica believes may contain a ghost. She said that if you look at the left-hand side on the tall gravestone, you can see a person, maybe a child, waving back. There definitely seem to be a number of markings on the tombstone, and some that definitely look like a face and hands. But was this just pareidolia, that is, making meaning of things where there is no meaning, seeing things where there is nothing? Were these coincidental markings on the gravestone? Or was it a ghostly message presenting itself on camera? Perhaps there's something else in this picture that I've missed, but please let me know what you think. Number 3. Tynan Hansen. Number 3 and number 2 actually were both taken by Tynan from Denmark. One night about a year ago, he took 2 photos with his Nikon Coolpix camera looking out from his house. He says this is just 10 yards from his front door. He said that what you can see, a ghostly, swirly, smoky light, doesn't show up to the naked eye, and it's only on these pictures that it was visible. It looks like it's floating perhaps 10 to 12 feet up in the air and gives me the distinct impression of movement, even though of course it's a still image. Tynan has no idea what it is, hoping that I might have more information. Sadly, I don't. But have a look at the next one from Tynan as well, it's even better. Number 2. Tynan Hansen. And here's the second one from Tynan, taken just after the one that you've just seen. I think this one is even better, showing that not only has the ghostly image moved from its position further over to the right, but it's changed shape too. It actually looks like something with a head and arms and a billowing white dress below it, flying around at speed searching for something. Still, that's what I see, and my interpretation at least. It kind of reminds me of spirit photography, though from a much wider angle, and it's interesting to see how the spirit, or whatever it is, has moved too. So, Tynan, I'm afraid I have no idea what this could be, but I know that many people who watch All Top 5s are good at this kind of identification. Can any of you, the viewers, help out with this one? Number 1. Jennifer Morris. This photo comes from Jennifer Morris in the Midwest USA in Nebraska. She sent the background story to the photo in with it. Here are her words exactly. In 1990, my family received a picture from my father's friend, Tom. My father and Tom worked together for many years. My father told us the story that Tom had told him. A member of his church was dying of a terminal disease and had wanted to spend his last days in his home. His wife and a nurse were his caretakers during this time. It was early evening and the nurse had left for the day. The man's wife had gone outside for a cigarette, and as she looked up at the clouds and as the sun had started to set, she finished her cigarette and ran inside to take a picture. She had a little bit of film left on her roll, so she took a few pictures and thought nothing more about it. When she returned to her husband's room, he had quietly passed away. A few months after taking the pictures, the wife had the pictures developed and was shocked to see what was developed. The picture was of two ghostly figures, with one of the figures holding the other by the shoulder. I know the only change made to the reprints of the picture was to darken and enlarge the image. Otherwise, the film was not tampered with in any other way. Tom told my dad the man's widow had the original, and 4 copies were developed and blessed by their church's pastor. I assume that Tom received one of the pictures because he was a deacon, but why he chose to get rid of it and give it to my father is a mystery. My father doesn't believe in the supernatural, and, while spiritual, he's not a very religious person. Neither am I. Nothing unusual has ever happened to our family since we received the picture, but I can't logically explain what's in it. Full disclosure, there are some things that I don't know. Who the husband and wife are, their church, or the pastor that blessed the photos. Nor do I know the exact year the picture was taken, just that we got it in March or April 1990. Everything else is as accurate as I can remember. So, a touching and intriguing story behind the picture then, and it's incredible that this wasn't of a dark churchyard or a cellar, but of a beautiful sunset. It's a very different story from the usual and features something quite lovely too. It reminds me of a married couple on their wedding day, but again, that's just me. Could it be an impression of the dying husband's love projecting an image into the sunset on the camera? Could it be a thoroughly coincidental trick of the light in the sunset? Or could it be something else? I like that Jennifer has given us full disclosure and said the things that she doesn't know, rather than just making stuff up. Still, whatever this is, thank you to Jennifer for sending it in, and what a beautiful photo to end on. If you have a photo or a video that you or a family member has taken and you think might be something ghostly, then please send it in, along with your name and an explanation of when and where you took the photo or found it, to alltop5s@gmail.com. I might just feature some of the best ones in a future All Top 5s video, so please don't be shy. I won't be using photos that aren't yours, however, so please don't send in photos you've just found online. And that's it from All Top 5s for this week. Please remember to be civil when posting comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. You can hit the subscribe button for notifications of all my new videos, or you can click to support All Top 5s on Patreon. So peace and love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.